What is up, Cricket Rockstar Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Cricket Rockstar Show. We are now on day 11 of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, and I must tell you this, the action is getting hotter and hotter, louder and louder day by day. Today truly was a historic moment indeed, because Zimbabwe, who, mind you, has never made it to the Super 8s of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, for the first time they'll be taking part in the second round following the elimination of Australia. Yes, for the first time in 17 years, there'll be no Australia at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Super 8s. That's because Zimbabwe's match against Ireland was abandoned without a ball being bowled, effectively knocking the Irish out of the competition, so as the Australians. And I must say, Zimbabwe, mind you, came into this tournament not as dark horses, not as favorites. They would have never been favorites in any ways, but they came as a side which can really make this competition unpredictable. They truly were the long shutters, just like West Indies as well, which I mentioned in the last video. Both these sides came in with long shots and have surprised everyone in this competition. But we're talking about Zimbabwe here because for a side that has had so much politics when it comes to selections, so as underwhelming performances over the years since the golden days, they have truly made this World Cup very unpredictable. With the match washed out against Ireland and their qualification officially granted, the match between Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka now, in a couple of days from now, is basically a top of the table clash because both sides have nothing to lose. With that being said, shame on you, Australia. For the first time in 17 years, you all have not taken a T20 World Cup very seriously. And if you all didn't see the rant I gave on them on the last episode or the last video, go check it out now before watching this one. When I mentioned Australia just a second ago, they can only reach 4 points now in their last game against Oman, as Zimbabwe, who has 5 points, they can do two things. Either finish in second place or go to the top of the table by shocking Sri Lanka, the only side alongside a few other teams in their respective groups that have been undefeated in this competition. And like seriously, the Chevrons, they have been the surprise package in this competition so far, alongside a few of the other associated members, even the West Indies as well. But we're not here to talk about the men in maroon today. That'll be on the next video somewhere there. But since we don't have to analyze the Zimbabwe-Ireland match due to rain abandoning it, so we'll just move across from Sri Lanka to the Chepauk in Chennai, India, as the Black Caps showed why exactly they are the most consistent side in ICC events. New Zealand clinically crushed the Canadians by 8 wickets to secure their spot in the Super 8s, effectively knocking the Afghanistanis out of contention. Canada fought hard, but the Black Caps' debt was just too much to handle. As I mentioned before, Afghanistan in their previous game against UAE, it was a virtual knockout game for them. However, with New Zealand defeating the Canadians, now the Afghans have all but been eliminated. And this just goes to show that Afghanistan missed the mark against South Africa. They should have defeated them in regular play. They should have defeated them in the Super Over, but choked, just like what the Proteas would do back in the day. But we need to talk about this young left-handed batter from Canada, Yuvraj Samra. No relation to Yuvraj Singh though. He became the first Canadian batter to score a century at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup by smashing 110 not out of 65 deliveries, which included 11 boundaries and 6 maximums at a strike rate of almost 170, which helped the Canadians posted 170 for the loss of 4 wickets from 20 overs. As I mentioned earlier on, the Black Caps, aka the Kiwis, were too clinical on the day, as Rachin Ravindra's 59 of 39 and Glenn Phillips' 76 of 36 smashed a hapless Canadian bowling attack all around the Chepauk, and honestly, they did it very easily to reach its target inside 15.2 overs at a score of 176 for the loss of 2 to finish the pool stage in second position with 3 victories and 1 defeat, 2 points shy of South Africa, who, mind you, still has a game to play. Here's how it's looking so far in Group A. Now, South Africa still has to play the United Arab Emirates, which I think is in a couple of days from now or even tomorrow. I have to check the calendar. So here's how it's looking so far with regards to qualifications. In Group A, India are already through. It's a battle between Pakistan and the United States of America for second position, as Pakistan still has to play Namibia in their last group stage game, which is a virtual knockout now. Namibia already out of the competition despite not winning a game. In Group B, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe are through from the second group, although both teams still have to play in what's now virtually a top of the table clash. But the seeding to the Super 8 has already been decided, which I will not go into because it's already out there. Both Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka go through at the expense of a lazy-looking Australian team, or should I say the worst ever Australian side to play an ICC event. In Group C, West Indies are already through. They still have one game remaining against Italy. And England are also through as well, despite not playing a perfect game so far in this competition. They have 3 victories and 1 defeat. All games have been close encounters involving England so far, which is very unusual for a side that normally takes their T20 cricket very seriously. As for Group D, South Africa and New Zealand are already through. There are 1 or 2 more games remaining in the league phase, but they're now virtually dead rubbers. But let's move to the last game of the day now. And you know why? I'm feeling so proud for Nepal. They didn't end its campaign winless, which is a good sign. They did end its campaign in good spirits as they defeated Scotland by 7 wickets with 4 deliveries remaining at the Wankhede Stadium. Scotland set a decent target of 170 for the loss of 7, but Nepal played like if they had a point to prove. Now, they should have defeated England. They should have knocked them out. They missed the opportunity. But this guy, seriously, this is one batter you had to watch out for. Dipendra Singh Ari. He was the hero today, leading them to a 7-wicket victory, courtesy that wonderful half century he made in just 26 deliveries, which included 3 boundaries and I think 4 or 5 maximums he hit. But the turning point that swung it in favor of the Nepalese was at the back end of Scotland's first innings, and that 16th over in the run chase where Dipendra Singh Ari literally ripped apart that Scottish bowling attack. Now, both teams are already out of the Super 8 running, but this victory will give Nepal a lot of confidence and momentum moving forward. And one thing that is for sure, the Cardiac Kids, they did turn the Wankhede in Mumbai into the capital of Nepal, which is Kathmandu. For a population that has almost 32 million people, it is a huge achievement for them. And did you know this is Nepal's first ICC Men's T20 World Cup victory since 2014, and the last time they won a match at the World T20 was against a strong Afghanistan side back then in 2014 in Bangladesh. Overall, I'm very proud of all of the associate members who, in my opinion, have done better than the big guns such as Australia and Afghanistan, who I find should have done extremely better and didn't take their campaign seriously. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Cricket Rockstar Show. We hope you all liked it. And remember, be good, be cool, stay frosty. We will continue. And most importantly, this is the most powerful thing that I've been saying since the last video. The only thing more powerful than hate is love. And this is why all of us should have love. Mwah. Take care. Bye for now.